Do-do-do. 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 Do-do. Do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do. Just sing the whole theme tune in sobs. Oh. Right, hello kids. It's Josh and Alex again, and hello, Josh. Hello, Josh. Oh, I love the Mr. DNA cameo.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
So, just in case the opening didn't give it away, we're reviewing Terminator Genesis. So, we're not really. We're
No.
reviewing Jurassic World.
Yeah. Terminator Genesis is Y is 2, if you remember.
It's what Terminator Genesis is, Josh.
No, I mean, it's the sequel to Y. It's lovely, that. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about something probably much better. It is. We're not. Yeah, of course it's better. Yeah.
What are you even saying?
I don't know. I'm trying to recover.
Soft.
Yes.
I know. You use very nice skin lotion.
Soap?
For all that aside,
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
A fine sequel, if not the best one. Arguably.
No, it is the best. It's the best sequel. Out of the three that came after the original, it is the best.
Yeah. It's up there with like the quality of the entire experience, really.
Yeah, but it's also its own thing.
This film, I feel, pretty much does what Jurassic Park as a story does, in that it like wants to preserve the past, but does it in its own way.
Yeah.
And update it and.
Yeah, I was just thinking that like they talk in the film quite a lot about like being the innovators of things that have already existed. And I think that's quite fitting to what's happening in the events of the films. They're taking something and they are making it new for more audiences to be attracted.
Yeah. Like, there's probably a generation of kids, and probably like someone like your younger brother, who would like look at this film like we did with the first film and just be like,
yeah,
this is the shit.
Definitely.
So,
I think if you're gonna, before this film, if you were gonna watch a Jurassic Park film, you had to start at the first one. But I think now that this one's just been dropped, I think you can start either with the first one or with this one.
Yeah.
You may be able to pick up this. Like, I'm not saying watch this one first. Don't be stupid. Just watch the first one first. But then you can skip the other two and just watch Jurassic World.
Pretty much. I mean, you're not really. It's all about the first film, and it always will be.
Of course, yeah.
2 and 3 were just like, well, 2 was terrible, and 3 was a slight improvement. But this film is on the same level as the fact it doesn't have as much charm. I feel it's still missing something a little bit. Like, it's an amazing experience, but I feel it's lacking a bit, and I don't know if that's down to like me getting older and just looking back like, oh, this is. But
yeah, I think it lacked just the adventure and well, it didn't lack the scale. It was pretty big.
Like the ones on the dinosaurs?
Yeah. With the first film, it was like, there was the adventure, there was like the wide sweeping shots of the park. And there's like, you're immediately thrown into it. But whereas this is, it's like 45-minute build up.
Yeah.
Before everything inevitably starts going wrong, like on a big scale.
Mm.
But with the first one, it's like as soon as it goes wrong, and the rest of the film is that. Whereas this goes wrong, and it gets progressively worse.
Yeah.
So I think it's just missing that like sense of peril and danger that the first one had.
It's there, but it's like
Yeah,
it it doesn't have this. It doesn't give off the same
slightly
sort of
laid
feel.
back, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if it's like the director or what, but I think it'd probably be weird if it was still for certain action scenes, but I feel like sometimes shaky cam or cutting to quick shots can be a bit much for this kind of film. Like in the first film, I liked that each shot took its time, or like you could see what was going on properly. Because
Mhm.
one of my complaints with Jurassic World, and there's very little, so I'm literally nitpicking, but
No, that's understandable, of course. Yeah,
yeah, like in the pterosaur scene, you could barely see the pterosaurs or what they look like or what
yeah,
was like really going on with them, other than they were flapping about and trying to eat people. Because other than pterosaurs, there was another one. It was like a pterolactus. Ptero can't say it, but it was
yeah.
it was
It was like a cross, wasn't it? A breed between, I think.
yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen something like it before, but I never got
Yeah,
to see it properly.
yeah. So, do you want to explain the plot of the film, or shall I?
This is your thing. I'd give the reins to you probably.
This my jam.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, there's these two kids going on a trip to Jurassic World because their aunt Claire, she's the park attraction manager, or the operations manager, I think she's known as, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and she's just chilling in Jurassic World, and she's like, "Hey, it's been open for 22 years. Gonna have to make something good to get more people." So they do. It's called the Indominus Rex. So these kids are visiting, and they're like, "Woohoo, it's dinosaurs!" And then there's a man, and he's like, "Oh yes, you got to go and get on, Grady." This is beginning to get racist. Oh well. This
It's
is the
hard
first
not to be.
racist
It's quite a thick
review.
Indian like English
Yeah,
accent.
it's like, "Oh, you've got to go and get on, Grady. You can come and look at the structure of the paddock for the Indominus Rex." And because they find out that it's bigger than anticipated, and it ate its sibling, and it's tried to like break through the paddock before. So Owen Grady is played by Chris Pratt, and he is, yeah, exactly, and he's part of the research team. Like they hired him from the Navy, and he sort of looks after the Velociraptors and builds a bond between them to like not control them, but to have a relationship with them, to research them, and he gets called in to like examine the paddock and stuff. So they think the Indominus Rex has escaped, but it's actually outsmarted them, and it stays in the paddock. And then it breaks out because of some dude who like opens the main gate, and you're like, why? So the Indominus gets loose and starts wreaking havoc across the park. So they try to like keep it under wraps before it can like cause any major trouble. But obviously that doesn't go to plan. And it breaks into like the aviary where they keep all the like the pterosaurs, etc. And they start attacking people in the park. And then like they use the raptors. InGen's military department come in, and they start running things, and they try and use the raptors to track down and kill the Indominus Rex. But ooh, Henry Henry Wu, from the first film.
Woo!
Yeah, he's spliced a load of stuff into the Indominus Rex. I think he's got cuttlefish for what
The
did he say
skin.
it's for? It's for its oh, so it camouflage, isn't it?
Yeah, it
So
does it with the skin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got genes from a snake, so that it can. What was the snake for?
I can't remember.
I think they just briefly mention it. It's got like a frog, a tree frog, I
Yeah,
think,
tree frog.
so that it can't be detected by thermal radars and stuff like that. And then it's got raptor. So of course, when the raptors finally track down the Indominus Rex, they start communicating, and the Indominus Rex is like, "Rah!" And the raptors are like, "Oh!"
Well, that's an interesting point because they do use dolphin noises to make the raptor noise.
Yeah, but what I'm expecting you to really do, Josh, is editing a velociraptor noise to make me sound like I can do it. It's like, "Oh, ooh."
I'll just use that.
Yeah, that was the best. Right, I'm hanging up now. So yeah, so the raptors like hunt down the people. The Indominus Rex also hunts down the people, and all hell breaks loose again until they finally get back to the park, where I'm not even gonna. I've spoiled everything else, but I'm not gonna spoil this for people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it's too good. Where there is a massive fight, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at.
That's. I think you can pretty much gather what happens in the trailers,
Yeah.
except for this final scene.
Oh yeah. I mean, in one trailer, there is a shot of it, of the feet. You know, when she's running.
Oh yeah.
But that could be anything. But like woven into that plot is a load of really nice scenes between each character. I think they're all pretty well developed.
For their part, definitely.
The relationship between the two brothers is amazing. Like the way that progresses from Zach being like, "What the," and then they're like, "I'm gonna keep around you."
He's a little shit though. Like he's got a girlfriend at home, and he's eyeing up every woman he sees.
Well, a wise man once told me, just because there's a goalkeeper in the way doesn't mean you can't score.
Don't
and
listen
that
to that.
Was you, Josh.
It was. That's football, me love.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really nice scenes. There's a bit where they go back into the original visitor centre from the first film. And they see the, what's it called, the banner, which the T-Rex ruined. At the end, the one that says dinosaurs rule the earth.
Yeah.
And it's accompanied with a really, really nice, soft piano version of the infamous Jurassic Park theme. And the whole sequence is just gorgeous. It's like it really hits you, and the nostalgia, especially for like big Jurassic Park fans like myself and Josh. I think the nostalgia really gets to you. The same way it does when they're on the boat at the beginning, and the theme kicks in, like John Williams' score just kicks in, and you're just like, this is Jurassic Park.
That score is half the film, really.
Yeah.
That's what makes it.
And it wasn't even John Williams. But
not for this film,
might as well have been.
Yeah.
It was really, really well done. The way I just love it when they're on the boat and you can hear like, you know it's coming, and then you see the island and the theme just
it's
I love
lovely.
it. I love it.
You'll find yourself tearing up quite a few times, if not all the way through.
Oh yeah, as soon as Well, the Star Wars trailer came on before.
Oh yeah, so you
before I
already.
watched that, so I was already crying.
Mm.
And then when that happened, I was gone. I was just in tears. And then the end, I'm just gonna say Paddock 9. And when they say that, I was just like, yes.
You're not ready.
No.
None of
really
you
not.
are ready.
Oh, and there's a nice appearance from the T-Rex as well, like eating a goat.
Yeah, that was a nice cameo.
Cool. Yeah, from the it's the original Rex from the first film.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
There's also a really clever cameo that they use for the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Because in the new Jurassic World, they've got like basically Stark technology, where all the screens are like in the air and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have a hologram for each dinosaur. And what they do to trick one of the raptors is get up a Dilophosaurus in like its attack stance right in front of it to distract it for a bit, and I thought it was like a nice way to get that dinosaur into the film.
Yeah, really nice. It's just full of lovely little references to the original film.
Hmm.
I think my favourite one actually is probably the Chaos Theory one.
Oh yeah, with blood.
Yeah, basically there's in the first film, which I'm sure you probably are aware of. Ian shows Ellie a Chaos Theory by dripping water onto her wrist and seeing which way it'll run down. And he says, "Oh yeah, it goes this way. Which way are you going to say it goes?" And she goes, "Let's say the same way." And it rolls in the opposite direction. And in Jurassic World, there's I think his name is Hammond or something like that. And they're looking for the Indominus Rex, and there's a bit of blood dripping down, and it drips onto his wrist. And one drop rolls one way, and one drop rolls the other way. And when I saw it in the cinema, I went on my own, so I had no one to like turn around to and grab them and shake them, going yes. But it was there, and it was gorgeous, and I loved it. I think that's my favourite little nod to the original.
Yeah. Throughout the film, the Easter eggs and references, they really spared no expense.
Ha! Ha! Yeah, it's true. You know what John Hammond used to say? Spare no expense.
Relax.
Yeah, even that's a joke in its own thing, isn't it? Spare no expense.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Mr. DNA makes a cameo as well.
I'm very happy that they put him in there. They didn't need to, but it was nice.
They did, yeah. Yeah.
A lot of love went into this, and like a lot of effort.
Yeah, you can tell that everyone involved was really into their role. And, really set on making this film amazing, which they've done a brilliant job of it.
Mm.
And absolutely, it's not only is it like really engaging to watch, but it's visually stunning as well. Like,
yeah, some of the shots are gorgeous,
and the CGI, and although some of it's a bit shaky, it's like, ooh, that's a bit dodgy. But the set design and everything else is incredible. Like, and I think budget of 150 million, which is a lot, but compared to other films, it's not.
In terms of blockbusters, it's quite.
Yeah. And to do something on that scale, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, they used the animatronics again. I know that the raptors were men in like raptor costumes, which were then put over with CGI to make them look more like raptors. And when the Indominus Rex has killed the dinosaurs in the like the open bit of field. That was an animatronic. Like apparently, in an interview with Chris Pratt, he was like, "Yeah, when you first get onto the set with like an animatronic dinosaur, you're not like, oh, this is so cheesy. You like connect with it, and you start seeing it as a real animal because the way that they move it and the way that they controlled its eyes and like face and stuff like that to look like it's in pain. It's just, you said it was mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, like CG can they explain it a lot in like a lot of documentaries, including for Jurassic Park, in that CG can do what, say, like stop motion animation or puppets can't. But there's something about like just having something there with you to act with.
Yeah.
That just makes it all the more real, especially a huge ass dinosaur.
Yeah.
There's something really magical and just amazing about it. And the work and effort that goes into making those puppets at the Stan Winston company is just it's outstanding, really.
Yeah.
Like,
it really is.
Yeah, on every film, like you just see the work that goes into making those things, and like even when you watch The Lost World, and it's the crappiest one of the four, you can still see that a lot of work and time went into to trying to make a decent thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So to wrap things up, Josh, what would you rate Jurassic World?
Oof. I've already measured the little nitpicks, so I'd say like a very high 9. Yeah. Yeah. It was a damn good experience, and like if you haven't seen the original, which I don't know why you haven't, weird person, but if you haven't seen it, this is a good film to see. I'm not going to say instead, but like if you haven't and you want to get round to watching the first one but can't, this is a good film to watch as a substitute, because it pretty much does or tries to do what the original does, and does it really, really well in terms of replication.
Yeah, I think it takes aspects of all three. So like you've got the park from the first one, like it's open, it's successful-ish, and then everything goes wrong. You've got InGen soldiers, like taking the dinosaurs, which is obviously the second one, and then you've got the kids going missing, which is the third.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite good that they've like taken all three and then made it its own. Yeah.
So what would you rate it overall?
8.5 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at first I thought it was going to be like, I know you really like Godzilla, and it's a really amazing film. But I don't think if they had made it now without having all the other Godzilla films made, I don't think it would be as good. Because I think that one, while it's good in like its own right to being a Godzilla film, what made it was the references, and I thought that was what this film was going to be like, but it's not. If you can understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Like, what really made Godzilla for me was the references to the other films.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think for me, watching Godzilla, it's sort of similar to what Jurassic World does, but I know what you mean in that this tries to make it its own.
Yeah.
And put it in its own direction. Whereas the new Godzilla, which came out quite recently, is pretty much trying to do what the Toho films did.
Yeah.
I mean, it does it really well. It's bloody amazing. But if it was just that single standalone film, it'd come out and be as popular as Cloverfield, basically.
Yeah.
But Jurassic
With
World,
Jurassic World, it would still be quite popular
yeah,
because, like, you don't need you, you could take away the references of the old film and you could call it something else, like Dino Land, and it would still be as good, I think, as the originals.
yeah, because it's pretty much doing. Well, I'm pretty much repeating myself now, but it's pretty much doing what the original did for us when we were kids, for this current generation of kids.
Yeah. See, I've just looked on IMDb there. Godzilla's got 6.5, well, 3 stars, 6.5 out of 10, and Jurassic World's got 7.5 out of 10.
That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give it that. And the only reason that I don't rate it a high 9 is because it wasn't on for long enough. No, I think it was just a case of the slow build up at the beginning.
That's fair.
Like, if that had been cut down a bit, then I don't think I would have. I think I would have rated it 9.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you've watched like 30 Godzilla films, you get used to the build up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a standalone film, definitely, like, the build up to things going wrong needed to be shortened a little bit.
Yeah, I think they spent too much time saying, like, yeah, everything's what they say in the film is totally safe, and I'm like, yeah, but we all know it's not. We all know it's going to go wrong any minute now, so just get on with it. I want to see the Indominus Rex eat some people, which, my God, it does. And they're not scared to show it either, like they were in the first.
Oh no, yeah, I was saying this to Alex earlier, before recording, that this has probably scared a bunch of parents, let alone kids.
Yeah.
Because they don't really, for a 12, they don't really hold back on the sort of horror of being attacked by dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's a guy who gets his hand ripped off by a raptor, and like they're not afraid to show you actually see the raptor like clamp down on his hand, and then it cuts to like a reaction shot, and then you still see it on his hand. Then you see it like knock some stuff over, and then a window gets sprayed with blood. And there's also like a similar scene with the Indominus Rex. It like lifts some guy up and starts eating him, and then through the bushes there's like a shower of blood and like it splashes on the lens and stuff like that of the camera. And the first film probably would have been scared of doing that.
Yeah, I think.
I know that the second one wasn't as reserved as the first one was, and the third one was in the middle of the two. But this one is more violent than the second one. It's the most violent of the three, I think.
I suppose it teaches like kids that having huge ass carnivorous dinosaurs isn't necessarily a good idea.
Yeah. Like someone posted sent a message to us the other day saying, "Oh yeah, they found like dinosaur DNA," and I was like, "Yes, have you not seen Jurassic Park?"
Yeah, I mean, bring back the sauropods, or like just really placid dinosaurs, but not something as dangerous as T-Rex or something, or go all out Frankenstein and make Indominus Rex, because that's just silly.
But I think the film was really well timed. I think with like modern technology and stuff. Like I think it was really well timed in the sense that we can actually clone dinosaur DNA now, and we can create dinosaurs.
We could actually.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying this to you, but I said it to someone, in that if it wasn't possible for us to have original dinosaur DNA to go off of, we could pretty much do what they do to create the Indominus and splash together a bunch of different samples from different animals to
but now
create
we could do
something.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because scientists have played around with the idea of making new organisms even. So
yeah, I mean, there's a picture of the mouse that's got like an ear spliced to its back, which is really cool. But at the same time, it's like, wow, has science gone too far?
Yeah. So all that's on the table for the future, and we have Jurassic Park to show us that science
we
isn't.
Stay well away from dinosaurs.
Yeah. And that science isn't always the answer. These
No,
kinds of
not.
things.
So yeah, if you get the chance, please go and see Jurassic. I don't know when this is going to get uploaded.
Probably tonight.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So please go and see Jurassic World. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's your mind will not cope whatsoever.
I can't praise it enough, actually.
Damn good shit.
Yeah. So go and see it, or a T-Rex will rip your bollocks off.
I'm just gonna put a really, really loud T-Rex roar.
Nice.